Well, guys, it's an absolute pleasure and it's an awesome treat for Blood, Sweat and Metal. We have the mighty band Kamelot. It's on our show this morning, and I am speaking to the one of the greatest members of that band. And I've just got to get the name here because I've got so much things to say, and I I just got paperwork galore here. Paperwork. And doesn't give me the member. So who's the member I'm talking to?
This is Thomas Youngblood from the
Yeah.
band Kamelot.
How you going, Thomas? Anyway, I've got paper law. I've got all these questions I need to ask, but there's a new album coming out very shortly on our doors. It's called Haven. It's absolutely a crackerjack of an album. I listened to it last night to give myself a taste of what to expect. But I've got to say, this is probably the best album to date that's going to come out in 2015. I'm really very surprised this is the standard album.
Oh, cool, man. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely something we worked really hard on, and we kind of built on that basis that we had with the last album, Silverthorn, and we took that kind of that approach with the songwriting, but we wanted to add things, wanted to make everything heavier, bigger, and more dark, and also lighter and more uplifting in some parts. So it became a really good mix of dark, melodic, symphonic metal, which is something that we haven't had for several years, and I'm really happy with the outcome.
Yeah, and before you go into the album, like the darkness of it and the symphonic side of things as well, what I liked about this album, there's a few guest appearances on this album, Haven. One is from Elisa Whitecluse from Arch Enemy. You have Troy from Nightwish, who plays the pipes for Nightwish. He's on the album. And also Charlotte Whistle from Delane gave Haven some extra magic on the album. How was it like for you guys to work with these amazing artists that's on the album?
It's been great. I mean, these are all folks that we've toured with. I can start with Alyssa, who's been our female guest vocalist for the last 2.5 years, and she actually was with us when we came to Australia on the Silverthorn tour. So, having her again on the album has been great. Charlotte from Delane, they toured with us several times as special guests, and I met Troy on the Camelot Nightwish tour about 2.5, 3 years ago, and super cool guy. I mean, really special. One of my favorite people in the music business, and we became really good friends. And so, when the time came for their parts, it was kind of last minute for all of them. But luckily, they were in a place or in a situation where they were able to record their parts fairly quickly, and we're just kind of really lucky to have some amazingly talented friends that were able to kind of add a little bit of spice to the album.
Yeah. Some of the songs also, I also almost heard Thomas from Nightwish on the keyboard, but it wasn't Thomas. I was just getting bit into a Nightwish fanboy type of moment because the new album from Nightwish had just been released, and you guys just almost released a new album. I almost heard Thomas on the album, so forgive me for that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just about to say, with this album, it's got such great sing-along choruses as well. Also, I just want to mention a song, Under Grey Skies. It's a little bit of a slower song, but it's more powerful in the chorus. When it hits that middle chorus, it just takes off to another key. Just tell the fans a little bit about that song, Under the Grey Skies. Did it take that long to record? Because there was different key changes in that one as well.
Yeah, I think that was a song. Actually, the music was written by our keyboard player Oliver, and he worked with Tommy, the singer, closely on that song. And so originally, I only heard the music, And then when Tommy sent back the vocal parts, I was just blown away. I mean, it was goosebumps instantly with the melody and the words and the emotion that is on the song. And I think also bringing in Charlotte as the guest female on there also added a little bit of a nice element of that sort of tragic kind of thing that we have with some of our songs, where there's a lot of relationship interplay between male and female. And so yeah, I mean, I can imagine that being a really powerful song to play live as well.
Yeah, and we got to wait a little bit longer here for Australia to get it heard live too, because I'm going to say something which a little bit later. You're on a tour very shortly with Dragonforce, so I'll come up to that very shortly. But a question I want to ask: there is a little bit of a dark song near the start of the album called Citizen Zero, I should say. It's just a little bit of a darker thing. It's a great song, mind you, but it just has that little bit of a dark edge to it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've mixed a lot of different things on this album with the elements of dark melodic, which is something that we really wanted to go for. This mixture of really heavy, melancholy music, but also with a lot of melodic, almost sometimes uplifting vocal melodies. You know, and it's a really cool mix that we were able to kind of bring into this album.
Yeah.
And it's a nice balancing act, because I think the choruses are some of the strongest that we've ever had on this record. So to be able to do that, but also kind of keep a little bit of that tinge of melancholy, is also something that we're really happy that we were able to achieve.
Mm. And also, the first song off the album, Fallen Star, that catches me straight away. Once I put my headphones on and just having a bit of relaxation, even though I'm not supposed to relax with metal at all, but I was relaxed by it. I put Fallen Star on, and as soon as the first couple of chords on, I said, this is it, and it just had that natural blend. I mean, I do hear Dragonforce influence, and I do hear Nightwish. I just hear that symphonic metal, and it's such a great thing now that the symphonic metal, not just from you guys, but right around the world, is taken off pretty well, and it's very, very well supported right around the world as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's we look at ourselves as a metal band with totally different influences than just power metal. But of course, we have power metal, we have symphonic, we have even classical and new age influences. So we like to have a different blend, and I think it's one of the things that makes the band unique. But it's great to be able to still tour and see actually the band growing in some markets. For example, North America, and obviously, Australia has potential, because we've only toured down there one time in the whole career of the band. So we want to definitely continue to build our fan base down in Australia. So hopefully, this is another step towards that.
Well, speaking of Australia, are there any plans coming to Australia? I know there's been some talk here and there about doing Soundwave here in Australia, but even the promoters said they're not fit on the bill just yet. But has there been talks to come to Australia with this new album?
Not specifically with this album. I did get some offers recently to come to Australia and New Zealand, and that's something that we're looking at. And of course, once the record is out, and hopefully, the record does well down there, and that'll also help with convincing promoters to bring the band down. And of course, we would love to do Soundwave. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So we're kind of up for anything to get the band back down there. And like I said, last time we were there, we had a really good time.
Well, I'm just going to throw it out there. Just jump on a tour with Nightwish. I mean, I know you two get on very well, and when Nightwish comes around next year, hopefully, you guys will be on it. I mean, that's just me. I mean, we had Dragonforce here for Soundwave earlier this year. And speaking of Dragonforce, let's get into that tour. You're about to hit on the American tour just in the next couple of weeks, or actually next week, and he asked joining up with Dragonforce. Are you looking forward to joining up with them?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, we had been planning this tour for a while now, and then we got an email from their agent asking if we wanted to add them as special guests. And you know, I know Herman and Sam for quite a few years, so we thought it'd be a perfect kind of package for the fans.
Was that just a photo that's just been released from Herman this morning? It was on that cruise ship. It's the first guitar player to do a lead guitar solo underwater, and it's amazing. It's the first guitar player to actually achieve that. So, all good luck to Herman. God knows what he's going to do on tour. I had a friend of mine here in Australia before he went to see Dragonforce. He said these guys like to drink a lot, but when they played, they didn't really drink because it's over 40-odd degrees Celsius here in summer. I mean, if you drink too much alcohol, it just goes right through you. But Herman and the boys do know how to party. They do know how to rock. But what really surprised me is he can shred that guitar. That's what makes... Yeah. But yeah, there's a photo on...
Yeah, it's going to be a fun tour. I mean, we're going to have a lot of partying, but...
Yeah.
You know, when we're on stage, for everybody, it's going to be about the music, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, that's a photo just recently now been posted up on Facebook, on his Facebook wall, and Twitter and Instagram, doing a guitar solo underwater in the pool of that cruise ship that they're on at the moment. So it's pretty fun. But let's get back to Kamelot. This whole album has basically blew me away. There's 13 songs on the album, and another good song that I personally like is Beautiful Apocalypse as well. I just want to ask, was there a little bit of a dialogue with that song as well?
A little bit of what?
A little bit of a dialogue story with that one? The story...
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of a testament to the way the world is, you know, and the way that we're kind of treating the Earth, and you know, we're taking this beautiful planet in a way, and sort of not treating it completely cool, you know. So it's that also that mixture of dark and heavy, and you know, in a way, the album could have been called Beautiful Apocalypse because we have a lot of mixture of beautiful melodies. And also, like we spoke about, dark atmospheres. So that song itself, you know, has a lot to do with all those different elements. And that's one of my favorite songs to play. I think that'll be really fun to play live as well.
And just a question regarding the album. You're going to play a tour with Dragonforce. Are you excited to hear these songs get reacted live? And if you have already done so, how is the reaction with some of the songs already that's been played live from this album?
Yeah, we're definitely excited. I mean, we played Vale of Elysium in London about a month ago, and this went over amazing. So we're very excited about debuting these songs, and I think you know, I kind of know a little bit about our fans, and I think I know how they're going to react to it, and hopefully they'll prove me correct. But it's going to be fun. I mean, we're starting to rehearse all the new songs as well, so that's also making everything a little bit more exciting for us.
Yeah, there are some bands that I follow that are very reliant, or they're not reliant, but they hesitate to play these new songs live. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's to do with their schedule or whatnot. But there are some bands that bring out albums, but you never heard a song get off that album get played live. I just don't know what it is. But do you think when a band, like, well, I'm not saying you in general, I'm just saying in music in general, when they release a new material, they should play a song or two off that new album live to get it over?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, just, you know, you're theming this entire tour around the album's artwork. And, you know, for us, I mean, it's just logical. You play minimum 4 songs from the new record, you know. So I'm not sure why anybody would not do that unless they weren't really proud of what they released, you know.
Yeah.
Or they maybe relying too much on their back catalog.
Yeah, or yeah, I was about to say maybe it was a crap album. I don't know, or a subpar album. I don't know, but you know, yeah, but it just goes to show that the fan reactions nowadays. I mean, I've been going to a lot of gigs, and just to see the crowd responding to these new songs is just phenomenal. I mean, some of these songs don't even get played on radio, but yet they still go out and buy the album, which is awesome. And just hear these new songs that they sing live, it just tells me that, hey, the music is alive and well. And no matter what it does, if there's a legal download, it's not going to kill the band's reputation, because you got the fan out there that bought the album and they're singing note for note. More so, they sing it better than some of these singers out there. I'm not saying you guys, but I'm saying bands in general. But do you get that type of reaction as well from the fans that really go for it, and it just shows you guys that they're dedicated and they're putting it back to you guys, the love and the support?
Oh yeah, I mean that's crucial. I mean, it's for us. That's that's the thing. When we try to make records that fans they're gonna buy, or and so we put everything into the albums, whether it can be the artwork or, of course, the music and everything. So we cherish all of those aspects of it. And obviously, I know, for example, in the U.S. that the album is already selling incredibly well, and that's only on pre-sale. So if we were to tour without playing some of the new songs that the fans have already pre-ordered, it would be a little bit of a slap in the face in a way,
Yeah.
So we definitely want to make sure that we were, everybody shares in a way the whole responsibility, and that the fans buy the music and we want to play it for them. So it's pretty simple.
Yeah, or you just have me in my car driving down in the city with my windows down, just screaming on the top of my lungs the songs from Kamelot. You never know. I mean, at least I do something.
Yeah.
But fans, Kamelot's got a new album coming out on the 1st of May via Napalm Records here in Australia and around the world, called Haven. It's got 13 awesome tracks on it. Also, it doesn't change their sound either. This has just got an awesome sound. It's new. It's an absolutely trademark sound. They have special guests on the album that I mentioned at the top of the interview. Please go and buy it when it gets to our stores, whether it's via JB Hi-Fi, YHD.com, and all those independent record stores, because this is an album that should be a contender for an album of the year for 2015. I'm giving this album a rap because I absolutely enjoyed it wholeheartedly. I really do like it. But yeah, it's
fantastic. Thank you.
It's an absolutely awesome. But just one last question. Was there any other songs that didn't make the cut that could have been on the cut?
No, we're not really. We like to write for the album. We had 2 bonus tracks. One of which it went to Japan, and another one is part of it's part of a limited edition. So we really just try to focus on the songs that we want to put on the record and put everything into those. So we're not one of those bands that just writes 30 songs and then that's leftovers. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You never know. Some of these fans just want a little bit more than normal. But hey, big things comes in small packages, they say. But Tom, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on. It's all the time we got for. But if there's one last thing you'd like to say to the fans down under, would you like to say it now?
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you guys for the amazing support, especially on the last tour we had down there. And go grab a Haven, and we're going to do our absolute best to come down there and see everybody again.
Yeah. All right, guys. The new album from Kamelot is coming to our stores on May the 8th. It's going to be released over in North America and in Europe on May the 1st. So we've got to wait a little bit longer, but get it while it's hot. Thanks, Thomas, for joining us, and it's an absolute pleasure, man.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, and hopefully we'll see you at the show.
Take care, mate. Bye now.